Hey guys, so we've just walked from our Callisto Hotel, probably about 6 minutes, and we've come to the War Museum. So different from yesterday, we were at the Palace, and today we're at the War Museum. So for the three of us, it's 100,000 dong, which is, I don't know, $7 or $8 for the three of us, which is not ridiculous. So I'm pretty curious. Crew's pretty looking forward to going in here as well. So we're going to hang out and get some photographs with all the old military equipment and read some stories, and this will be good. This will be good. As an Australian, it's probably one of the journeys that we should all make every once in a while. So we'll see you inside. If you want to do a video, you can do a video. Well, that crew. Do you know what that is? Yeah, and your head gets cut off. Well, for prisoners. Yeah, because it's not a French style thing, isn't it? I don't know. Hey guys, so I haven't even got inside to the main building yet of the museum. Just been out here taking some snaps of all of the military equipment, which is, you know, as a kid you grow up playing with little, you know, model planes and a lot of army stuff, and war was kind of glamorized when you're a kid, and that's thanks to Hollywood and the US. But right behind me is a section on basically the prisons that were US funded and US run or US overseen in the South to capture the VC or political prisoners. So anyone who was seen to be patriotic to the North's cause was thrown in prison. And so these are the US funded, US constructed, US overseen prisons, and it's pretty confronting because it was consistent ongoing torture of all the sort of versions, like just mutilation of prisoners for no other reason than they didn't want. They were political prisoners. They didn't want to be part of the South's, you know, I guess combination of the US and France and you know, some sort of democracy that was really run by warlords at the time. They wanted their own national identity. They wanted what the North was, and what the North was selling, which was a bit more socialism, and that was their choice, right? So what's confronting about it is that you're told, and when you see the movies and you're told, and you see, you know, the Rambos and stuff like that, it was always the VC prisons holding the Southern soldiers or the US captured soldiers, you know, like John McCain, you know, you see that a lot, like, oh, he was tortured, he was this and that. You think, oh, the VC, like the animals, you know, like the Japanese in the Pacific, and the Germans in World War II. And you know what? Same. US for all of the Geneva Conventions and all of, you know, everything else that has been had after World War II. Make a pinch of difference. War brings out evil in every man, and there is no goodies. It's baddie versus baddie, and on this stage, you know, the US are the aggressors as the baddies as well. So it's pretty full on, pretty confronting. And when you come from Australia and you're like, you know, you're a lackey of the US, especially militarily, then you don't really understand this history. And so when it comes at you full force, that's pretty crap. And you have this foreboding feeling that history is going to repeat again, and the US is going to be aggressive on someone else just because they want to sell their version of whatever the latest version is of, I don't know, trans something, crap something, whatever, you know, democracy bull crap that Australia's going to get thrown into again, and we're going to do the same atrocities again, and we're going to be the bad guys again. You know, we're not always the good guys, or maybe we never were. I don't know. Maybe there are no good guys. Maybe it's all bad guys, right? So it's that's pretty harsh to see. You know, when you realise that all these things that the US enforces on everyone, like Geneva Convention, you know, cluster bombs, you know, basically if they can't win by force, they just throw a tantrum and salt the earth. And that's pretty much what they did in Vietnam. You know, napalm, everything. Agent Orange is still here, it's still causing birth deformities. And the US is going to do the same in Ukraine. They're going to use depleted uranium shells. They're going to ruin some of the most fertile land in the world, because they're not going to win. What they want to do is a proxy war with Russia, and because it's a civil war. That part of the Donbass wants to be part of Russia, and they voted that way, and that's what it's going to be. And the US is going to throw a big stink again, and probably drop a bomb, probably drop a nuclear bomb. You know, the US is the only ones that have really done it before, and they'll do it again, I think. So, sorry to all my US friends who may have served in the military as well, guys. Like, this isn't against you guys, but you know what? Fight for your country, but never fight for your government, is what I reckon. Fight for your country, never fight for your government. You should never trust them. That's Australia included. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. So, anyway, guys, sorry to be that too, but feel a bit moved at the moment. I've ducked away from Slender and crew. We're going to go back in and see some other stuff, but yeah, just seeing all the US sanctioned torture on these people was just it's just pretty horrendous for me today. So I'm feeling a bit soft. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
switch on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Selena, what are your thoughts on that? That was different.
Look, very confronting for me. For showing crew, I think, was the thing that the torturing and oh my god, look at the lizard. See it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, he's run away. All right, stop. Let's start again.
You're right.
All right, guys. So we've just come out of the War Remnants Museum in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh. Selena, your thoughts?
So yesterday we did our tour with Jason and learnt quite a bit of this history. But you don't realise the torturing that the Viet Cong did to the Americans and the Americans did to the Viet Cong. Some of the photos in there are very confronting. The photographers did an amazing job of capturing the war at essence. Like, crew and I were having a look, there was 58 photographers killed.
56.
56 photographers killed in the war, so that's huge. But you know what, the Vietnamese people are amazing people. They've been at war for so long, tortured, they're intelligent when it came to the battles and things like that they did in their land and things like that with the tunnels and you know what, they've survived and they're still going and they're going strong. They're resilient. Good on them. Like, so I think it's something you've got to come and see. There's a lot to learn in there. I feel sorry for the people that are affected by the Agent Orange, I guess, is the main thing that you actually see a lot of confronting photos of the poor kids born with defects and families that have suffered, and yet America, we pay out the American soldiers who are affected by Agent Orange, but yet we do nothing for the people here in Vietnam affected by Agent Orange. Another video to watch is really interesting that crew and I sat and watched is about how they go around and make sure the bombs are out of land areas here in Vietnam. Those people do amazing jobs. They were showing where they found the big bomb with all the balls.
Cluster bomb? Yeah.
They were showing how they found their leftover cluster bombs and destroying them. But
terrible.
You know what? It's really, really confronting, and I wouldn't like to show someone younger than crew. Like, crew could quite understand stuff, but it was confronting for me to see the decapitation of people, the burning of people, the killing of kids. And it wasn't really that long ago when you think about it. So we have war crimes now, but back here what they did was quite horrendous. So, but What do you think, Scott?
Look, I tend to agree. It was very confronting, and I guess what a few takeaways was. Selena's right. Like when you see like the prison setups and all the torture of the prisoners, you automatically think that it's the Viet Cong torturing the southern Vietnamese and the US soldiers, because that's how Hollywood has made you think of what it is, and it wasn't. The US spent $3 trillion building these concentration camps to round up political prisoners and soldiers, and they oversaw the consistent torture of them, the killing of them. Like, it's just horrendous to see. And remember that there is no good guys in war. You know, one of the very interesting things. I took a snap of it right at the end, and it was in the history truth section, and it was. I'm trying to think, it was Eisenhower. So Eisenhower he may not have been the president at the time, and it was in 1953. And so France was just having the Indochina War, and Vietnam was trying to be independent of France. And the statement was, hey, we get all of our tin and tungsten from Indochina. If we lose access to those precious metals, we're going to be in big trouble. So we're donating millions and millions of dollars and military equipment and soldiers to beat off the Vietnamese, independence run, and to keep France involved. Sounds very reminiscent of what I'm hearing today in Ukraine and everywhere else, Niger. It's the same stuff. It's a battle. It's not political battle. It's a battle over resources again. And when you see that, it's pretty confronting. It's full on. Selena's right. Look, napalm, Agent Orange, cluster bombs, all things that were outlawed by the Geneva Convention that the US, with the New World Order after World War II, signed up and made everyone sign up to, except they decided not to be a party of. So then guess what? They commit war crimes because they're not a party to the war crime thing. And again, they're sending cluster bombs to Ukraine. Even though no one else is allowed to use that, under the rules of war. And they're sending depleted uranium shells via the UK into Ukraine as well. And guess what? So it's a big tantrum, right? When the US loses the war, they decide to destroy that part of the earth so no one can ever use it again, which is what's happened with the Agent Orange here as well, because there's still people that are getting deformities because it's a forever chemical and it sits inside the fish, and then when they eat the fish, and especially around Da Nang, this is what happens, and then that passes through to their genetics, and their kids are born with these deformities. And it's going to be the same in Ukraine, because it's going to be depleted uranium shells. It's some of the most fertile land in the world, and the US is going to throw a tantrum and going to just salt the earth. If they can't have it, no one can have it. It was just ridiculous. Australia, we need to be very careful about who we decide to just follow blindly in, I feel, at the moment. Look, guys, there's the piece going behind me, which is pretty... which is pretty relevant for this time. Look, I'm trying not to have a rant, but it was very confronting being there. And you know what? Hollywood keeps telling us that we were the good guys, and it's not. There was no good guys. It was a civil war where one party wanted to be independent of the old French colonial masters, and the democratic section wanted to keep having the French influence and the US influence, and wanted to trade precious metals still. Rubber plantations, it's a lot of this stuff over and over again. Anyway, guys, look, I highly recommend bringing your kids here. I highly recommend you coming here. This is the first time that I've really had a good understanding of it, and to back it up with our tours, our 2 tours with Jason, it just cemented everything together. So I'm really happy that we did it in this order. We did the tunnels yesterday. The day before that, we went around and saw a whole lot of stuff in Saigon. And Jason still calls it Saigon, by the way. He doesn't call it Ho Chi Minh City. He still calls it Saigon, which is very interesting. Look, guys, I can understand why the US is hated in many parts of the world. Look, I love my US friends. Your government's hated, guys. There's something's got to happen to mend some. There's a lot of pain out here in the world still. So, anyway, guys, this is enough from us. What are we going to do next, Lena?
Go and get something to eat, I guess.
Let's go and get something to eat. And some of those guys, if you're here, you've got to have Vietnamese iced coffee that they make with condensed milk. Awesome. Bit like a frappe, but better. So that's my recommendation. All right, signing off. We'll see you guys later on.